part of our community of practice 50th session. Unbelievable that we've actually been able to do 50 sessions with educators. And the entire purpose was to actually share practice across schools that have been partners with Adhyayan for whatever reason, whether it was for school reviews or for teacher professional development, or just for being able to share with each other. There have been people who have been part of our community of practice as for the last 3 years that have been listening in and being part of our sessions. I think there's something special about Little Angels being here today. I remember more than 15 years ago when I first met Shubadra, my first, probably the interview conversation that I had with her at that time was, I think you are going to be the principal of the school one day, and that's what's that I can see into the future. And I think that was like absolutely true, because that's exactly what happened. So as a founder of Adhyayan, which was set up entirely for the simple reason that we feel that there have to be at least 100,000 school leaders who understand what good practice is, research-based good practice is in the country, to be able to really change from a very age-old traditional practice of extremely rote-learned didactic teaching to a school environment where we have very active learning. But more than anything else, it's about the experience of the school for a child, right? How do people experience the school is how they're going to be relating to how they experience learning all their lives. And if the experience of school is one of very, very simplistic, okay, here's a textbook, learn what's in the textbook, do the exam, and then you're out of here to be able to live your life, then your entire relationship with learning is that it's of use, of actually no use, because mostly we forget what we've learned, or that it's of use only to do the examination, right? And what we would really want is for students to be in a classroom where the environment is such that they actually experience this sort of becoming a citizen of a nation, but becoming a citizen who also has a sense that learning is going to happen throughout life. The nation is constantly changing. And now that we're in our 75th year of independence, and we've got 25 years left to become a 100-year nation of being, politically independent, I think it's fundamentally important that over the next 25 years, the students coming from our schools really know how to lead the country. So here is a very, very strong example that we're going to be getting today of what it means to be a democracy, how schools can actually support that. And nobody better than Namita and Shubhadra and Preeti and Priya and everybody else from Little Angels who will show us the way. And with that, Shubhadra, I hand over to you to set it off. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I think we are equally excited and probably very honored that we are doing the 50th episode of COP. And we have learned so much, I think, in the last few years. Every session has been something very, has been absolutely very informative, and something has always been a takeaway from there. I'm sure all of us who've been a part of COP will agree to that. So I'm going to just start off. Yes, get onto the screen. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've used this word creating pathways, because I think, yes, we are also still on our way, just started the journey, I would say. So none of us are experts here, but yes, as we go about, I think we are experimenting, trying, and I think, yes, we're looking forward to reaching there. So yes, once again, let me just show you a video. So I wanted to see this video so that, although of course it speaks about the USA, I'm sure being Indians, we are the first to make sure that we take the best from everywhere. So let's see it here. Is the audio okay?
It's not audible, I think, Namita.
No, it isn't. It was, but it stopped.
Now?
No. When you shared screen, did you select the audio bit?
Can't hear at all?
No. Shubhadra, I think if you stop share and then when sharing again, you select audio.
I tried that, but it didn't work. So just give me a minute. I think we've really lost touch of. Okay, let me just stop share and share it. I think with Mac, it's slightly different. Let me share again.
You'll have to select share sound.
Yeah, I'm just doing that. Gauri, she has the file. You want to play it? Because I think in my share, I don't have an option. Okay, 1 second. Let me just try this. Okay. It's asking me for some password, which I don't have. Sorry. Sorry for the technical glitch. If Gauri is there, can you help me play this video?
Gauri, if you can support Shubhadra, that would be great.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Let me show you how I use Envato elements to...
Okay. Okay. So how many of us, you can just raise your hands or put in the reaction. Do we believe that this is the need of the hour? Okay. And I think if any of you probably know what is democratic education, or you think that you're probably aware of it, it'll be nice if Gauri will send you a Padlet link, if you can start entering that. She sent it already?
Yes,
Yes, it's in the chat.
is in the chat.
Okay, any more to go? Okay, so a few of you have used the words like having a voice, diversity, acknowledged and included, participation is a key. I think a lot coming from the video we saw. But the question is, are we able to actually, imbibe all these values into school, or these skills, I would say, into school? And that's the toughest question I think all of us faced when we probably are running a school. That yes, with the curriculum, syllabus, timelines, exams, department needs, I mean, I can count much more. How do we manage giving these key elements importance to over examinations and assessments and boards? I think all of us go through this every day, and I'm sure as teachers, you all will agree that yes, we have to complete portion and there is a deadline given to us and much more than that, right? So we too went through the struggle, and I would start probably by, okay. So sorry, I am using somebody else's machine, so I'm a little lost here. 1 second. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Can you all see anything? Because I can't see anything.
We can see your desktop.
Yeah,
My
you can see
desktop.
the desktop.
Fine. I don't know why my.
So you just need to shift the tab, Shubadra.
Yeah. Fine. So I put this picture because we all have learned in our civics lesson about democracy and by the people, for the people. And I'm sure we've all by-hearted that and put that into our civics lessons, assessments, and probably got great grades. But did we actually get a chance to really, try it out ever in our lives? I don't know how many of us were lucky enough to get through that. And I think when we talk about experiential learning and we speak about how to, sort of give this as a chance for children to be a part of it, it gets a little tough. And it's very nicely when Kavita, mentioned that, yes, like we know each other probably from 2001. Yeah, when I walked into her room, and I think probably this is the first informal meeting or an interview, I would call it. It was never I don't think I should call it an interview, more of a chit chat both of us had. And she suddenly tells me, yes, you're going to head a department and we're going to start a department together. And I think, I don't know if Kavita remembers, but the thing I remember most, was I remember you telling me that, that most schools have an organizational chart which starts from the management on the top and the child is, down. So typically a chart where, we go downwards. And she said, I mean, imagine a space where the child is on the top and we're all sort of, making our way towards helping that child, or, being there to just sort of support. And I think it was very interesting to know that, okay, something like that also existed, that children are like, I mean, we've all done in our B.Ed and whatever theory we have learned that it's a child-centric, kind of education we give. But honestly, is the child really in the center is a question we have to ask each other. So I think that was a trigger. Maybe, I don't know, Kavita, that was a trigger which said that, okay, how do we make sure that the children become the actual focus? And because they have to drive the space they are going to be learning in. And I think fortunate enough, we started something like a school parliament, which gave, I think, a full, complete confidence that, okay, students are not so young that they can't make decisions. They can probably play better politics than most of our politicians in a better way. And in a way that, they don't really cause harm to anyone. But yes, they learn the tricks of how you can, learn to make decisions. And maybe at some time also, yes, even if they falter, they are able to even actually get up and say, okay, fine, I've done this wrong, I'm going to go ahead. So we've seen a lot of this. And also something else, which I think I got, I got acquainted to something which I never knew existed, is a school called Summerhill. I think that's something which has always stayed in my heart and my mind. It's a school in UK. And when I read that book, and I was like, something like this really, exists. Because it's a school where, and when I read saying that the children just said that I don't want to go into class today. And there are days when children are there in the open, okay, playing on the swing or climbing trees, and they decide when they're going to get into class. And unbelievable for anyone like probably me, who's come from a complete space where obviously we had a timetable set, and you had to follow this, and you have to make you had to do math and then science and then geography and then history, and we've all done that in our lives. And to actually have a school and have parents who believe in this kind of a space, and it was amazing. And I think then I lost sort of touch with this kind of a space. And the last 2 years, I think, again, you can say, the worm inside me or the kida inside me told me again, go back, research, find out more. And there are many more models other than Summerhill. And I just realized that the world has so many schools where democracy is actually being done, sort of executed. And then I got to know there are schools called Sudbury schools, where again, they follow a different model. And that's when I realized that, okay, schools are actually doing it. Of course, they're called as alternate schools. But I think what I can see, if you see in the red, is not something very difficult for us to do. So if you actually look at the things they're doing, I'm sure every school can do in their own small ways. So these two models is what I really read. And the last year, the year before, during the COVID time, I connected with, again, 2 schools in India. And I realized that, yeah, India is not too far behind. We have many schools in India doing this, allowing the children complete freedom to make their choices. And I got in touch with 2 schools, Learners Collective Foundation, which I think is very close to me. They're friends. And I think somewhere we have a journey which is very common, started by parents, very close to our school. Again, they follow a democratic process where the children decide their learning journey. And BME in Bangalore, where I got a chance to go to Bangalore and see the school. So I think these are schools who are actually doing it. And if you can take those best practices and sort of imbibe it here, I think we are in for really giving the children something really good to look back and say, okay, this has been a school which allowed me to actually try out things, make choices, make decisions, and like we say, create them into lifelong learners. So I must say that these schools have really opened up eyes, and I'm sure a lot of my team members have heard this enough from me and said that we should be reaching there and we should try it out. And somewhere I think it's probably a part of our DNA now that we can't leave it where we don't ask the children, okay, so what do you think about it? So that's become like a routine, probably with everyone. It's not just me, but I think the entire team. So these are probably some triggers, I would say, right from where I, joined in and met Kavita, and knowing that the child has to be there, to now, going and looking at different schools. In fact, I got to know that there is a conference every year, which is, IDEC, which I don't know if some of you know. It's a conference for, all schools across, which are democratic schools. And they actually have they have forums where you can go and present your school and have discussions about what each school does. So interesting journey to get into that, space and try to find out. So if anyone wants to really, go and Google, there's lots of schools around you, which are alternate schools, but I would call them more as democratic schools. So yeah, so why LAIS? And I would say somewhere we are in the journey, and we are, sort of jumping in. We really believe that every voice matters here, not only the children, but I think all the stakeholders. So we have gone one step ahead by saying that child-centric, yes, but to make it child-centric, I think that entire, the culture or the philosophy has to be there with everyone, including parents, the office staff, the support staff, the teachers, the leadership team, the management. And I think, yes, we have somewhere achieved it. And even if it's something like, you would say that we would rate ourselves at almost in, say, maybe 5, we still have 5 more steps to take to reach 10. So I love this line, which we just got a quote from one of our trustees yesterday. And I love this, where he said, this is a place where your child has a name and not just a roll number. And I think it was amazing to get that. So that's why I used it here, saying that, yes, each child has an identity here. And we believe that each of them, really have a lot of potential to get onto the school and make the school a better place. So I'm going to hand it over to Namita, who's my head of department, and she'll take us from here. Yes, Namita.
Thanks, Shubadra. So, of course, when we have to do all these things, and when we are trying things and we are expecting children to have a voice, for everyone actually to be involved in decision making and have a voice, of course, we are going to make mistakes and learn along the way. So one important thing that we do in school is develop a growth mindset. We have that ingrained, we have that in our induction, we have it in our parent meetings where we talk about growth mindset, where we are encouraging everyone, all our stakeholders, to learn with our mistakes rather than be scared of them. So that's something we do with our children. It's okay to make mistakes. And I think that is something now everybody at school just says. So that was a very important element of us, is a very important element of school. And yes, to do that, also we have the learner attributes that we are developing. So by the end of their academic journey at school, we expect all children to have developed these attributes. Some of them, if you see, are from the Cambridge itself. But when we started, creating our manuals, we realized that those are not enough for us. And there were elements that we wanted to add in our children, and which is why we've extended what the Cambridge has and created our own learner attributes. And these are attributes which guide us all through. They also help us to plan our lessons. These are the attributes we use to make our report cards as well. So when we are writing reports, we use these, and under each attribute, how are the kids faring? What's the progress they've made? Those have been shared with parents as well twice in the year. So yes, that's our guiding force. Shubadra, can we have the next slide? Yeah. And at LAIS as well, we have the child at the center, where we are looking at all of us nurturing the school and the children who make the school for us. So that's our organization chart, where everybody comes together, works together with a common goal of helping the kids grow. And yes, of course, the kids themselves are part of this. We have student leaders right from grade 3, and they also help in shaping decisions made regarding children. So I think before I invite the rest of the team to come in and share their experiences, maybe if I share how it has been for me at LAIS. I think right from the beginning, when Shubadra and I joined the school in 2018, and we were just given, empty spaces of long rooms. And it was really nice for the management to trust us and say, okay, what is it that you would like? there were a lot of plans that they had made already. But when we came in and, shared options and said, can we do this? Never once were we told just no. There was always a scope for discussion, and which I think that's how the journey started for us. And then obviously it became easier for us to take this ahead and, for it to trickle down everywhere. So right from designing classrooms, where should the softboard be, what kind of blackboard, what kind of furniture, everything we've had a discussion and we've had a voice. And that continues. It's not like it was just at the initial stages. Right through, we have regular meetings with the management, with Priya, where we are constantly, there may be things that we argue about, there may be things that we work together, figure out. But the final thing is, how do we help the school grow? And, how do we find a solution? So how do we make a win-win situation for everyone and help us to move forward? So I think that's been the highlight for us. And that's what keeps us happy and motivated and helps us to go ahead. So I think next I would like Priya, if you want to talk about how it's been for you and your experience with the democratic culture.
Sure. Thanks, Namita. First of all, let me just put it this way. When Shubadra and Namita came in, like 5 years ago, of course, there were conversations about what we should do and what we should not do. And then, one suddenly realizes that, okay, these decisions need to be combined decisions. They can't just be initially the mindset that one comes with. You think that, yes, we've got this new principal and we can tell her that we want A, B, C, D, E. But then I'm sure most of you know Shubadra, right? We can't get through there. So, though having said that, it still remains a journey on which each day all of us end up learning something new from each other. And like Namita said, yes, we have a lot of meetings with each other to figure out, even if it's the smallest thing that we need to decide, we do get together and take everyone's opinion as much as possible and then take that decision. And yes, short of blows are exchanged, but that's all in jest. It did teach me, being a part of now, as my role demands, that we do have a state board school and the LAIS, that is the international school. So I do look into both the schools. So at some point it does get a little difficult as to how do you create that balance, trying to maintain a certain standard or a certain level of kind of thinking for LAIS, and maybe even be able to help the state board school in a similar manner. But it has helped the democratic process that is being followed. We are trying to follow in LAIS at some point. Not that there isn't any kind of democracy in the high school too, but it's of a different kind. So, this kind of just helps me to give some kind of perspective and bring some kind of changes even in the state board school. So it's a tightrope, but it's a fun place to be in, and it always is, there's a challenge every day that, whether it's the international school or the high school, there's always a different kind of challenge in there. Yeah. Namita?
Thanks, Priya. We have the teachers going next. Ms. Suchi, would you like to go next?
Okay, all right. Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. So I joined LAIS in the year 21. That's during the second phase of lockdown. And I can say that from that time, it's just been, this is my third year, so 2 years in all, and this is the third year. So the learning experience has been wonderful. And it's just been 2 years, and I have grown, I have learned, and I have done things so much, which is really amazing. As a teacher, yeah, we do face challenges, difficulties on a day-to-day basis. And there are many things which is not easy at once. Like, it doesn't come automatically. Certain things, yeah, of course, you do it and you are a pro and you go ahead with it. But there are certain things which do not come naturally to you and you kind of struggle and all. So we are stretched over here. And the leadership team always has said, you try. Okay, the moment something comes and it's like, no, 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 we can't do it, then I can't do it, then Namita, Shubhadra always, no, you try, give it a try once. If it's not there, then we are there. So that has been really, really very nice, because there is somebody there. Okay, there is somebody out there. If you want to reach out to them, if you're on a tight spot, that there is somebody. And here I would like to mention a few things. I mean, it just came while I'm just talking. So once Ms. Shubhadra was doing the teacher manual with us, the teacher book. Yeah, the teacher guidelines and all. So there was one point when she just said that, you come to school at 8:30, there is a time, okay, but you may not be in a mind frame to go to your classroom. And it is okay to come and tell us that I am not ready for the class. Can somebody step in? I mean, it's really heartwarming. I mean, who does that? Who says that? So everywhere there is guidance, there is support, and there is so much of warmth that I look forward every day to go to school. And it's like something. If it's not there, like the May vacation and all, 2 long holidays, really at some point of time you feel that, no, I need something, I need to go back. That's kind of a lifeline, that's kind of a second home which has become. And I really feel happy and lucky being over there. There are various forums that has been given to us where we can voice our opinion, where we can discuss things. Like we have regular review meetings, update meetings, where different things are being put forward. uh, like this year, this not this year, every year it happened since the time I joined. So Miss Namita made the timetable, and then she called us and we sat all of us together. And then she said that, let's see if it is okay, all the events are spaced properly, what do you guys feel, and all of that. So we have been taken through various things. Also, we do review the diary. So the diary we had last year, uh, some point of time we thought that, okay, there are a few things while we started using it, we felt that there are few things which could have been better next year. So immediately when the time and opportunity came, so we had a meeting and it was thrown to us, okay, pour in your suggestions to all the teachers, okay, pour in your suggestions, what all things you all need to be changed in the diary, and all that stuff. So at every juncture, and not only with the leadership team, we share a great equation with all the teachers over here, not to mention the students, of course, they're there, but with all the teachers. I mean, it's like not only the person who is teaching your subject, you're going and approaching and you're trying to share ideas. It's not like that. So I remember, like last year, since Miss Preeti and I more or less teach the same class and the same students. So though she's teaching math and science and I'm teaching English, like there are instances where we both sat down and shared, like, oh, I'm doing this, okay, what do you think I can improve upon? I mean, it doesn't have to be the same person from the same subject teaching. So and all the teachers over here, they're very open to give suggestions, to support you at every juncture. I mean, a lot of hand holding is there, but yeah, as I said, there are challenges also, and we are, kind of thrown into it, and we have to do it. And which is a good thing, because then it made us very strong. It made me very strong. Okay. And as I kept going, I kept looking forward, and all of that. One more thing is that every year the teacher team is increasing, which is a great thing. But we do have an induction every year, not only for the new teachers, but it is also for those who are here. And again, as I said, that it is just for us to review if the particular thing that we are doing, we are following, is it working at all? So we get an opportunity to review things along with a new teacher team and stuff like that. I would like to share a personal experience before I just hand it over to Miss Preeti. That when I joined, I wanted to shift my daughter in this school. So I went and spoke to Ms. Shubhadra, asking, requesting that it would be great if you could give me a concession for my daughter being a teacher's ward. So she did take it forward to the management, and it was like, it was great for me Everybody came back and it was implemented. I got some concession for, being a teacher. My ward got some concession, and it doesn't end there. It became a policy. So Shubhadra kind of laughed and joked and said, see, we started a new policy which wasn't there earlier in LAIS, and it just started with you. It felt great, and I'm very thankful for that. There are many instances, and as I speak, I can go on and on, but we are time bound. So I'll ask Ms. Preeti to now share. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Suchi.
Yeah, so speaking about myself, I think I have been very fortunate to be part of LAIS right from the very first year. And it has been a wonderful journey so far. And the reason for why it has been wonderful is simply because of the culture that we have in school. This entire democratic approach that we have, that everyone has a voice. As teachers, we are given full freedom to be able to transact the curriculum in our own innovative ways. No one has ever comes and tells us, okay, this is the way how it has to be done. Whether you're young, old, new, experienced, I think all the teachers are treated the same, are equal, and we've given complete freedom in basically just kind of using our own ideas in teaching and learning. Um, and as Suchi said, of course, the opportunities to keep growing along with the students is always there. You learn as you teach, and as you grow with many more years of experience. I would like to particularly say that, I was teaching science for the first time last year, particularly this grade 5, and we embarked on this topic of pollution. And at one time, I think we were kind of relating to, the pollution index, especially last year when the pollution during winter was really high in Mumbai, and we were kind of just looking at the index of Mumbai. And then a child asked me that, what if the index, goes beyond, if the air is so polluted beyond the index? And I said, I doubt whether it goes beyond, because this is the highest. I don't think it could kind of just go beyond that. And we continued. And then the next day, the child comes back bringing, data saying that, no, Miss Preeti, that, this is how it is. See, it is beyond this. It's crossed this index. It's beyond the level. And it's around 630 and something. So, I kind of acknowledged, yes, thank you for bringing to my notice. And it was a learning for me. What I'm trying to say here is that, you don't have to feel threatened at no point. The children and the teachers, everyone knows that, it's a learning for everyone. And you grow along. So you don't have to feel, annoyed about not knowing something. You're allowed, as teachers, you're allowed to make mistakes. But you should know how to repair it. And you go back honestly, frankly, telling students that, you've made a mistake. And I think the general atmosphere and the way students accept it also, saying that, yes, adults are allowed to make mistakes, and both the, young or old, as I said, you all learn along the process. Another thing, of course, what is very nice, being a teacher here at LAIS is, as Ms. Suchi said, that you always get chances to grow. Over the last few years, I have been leading the editorial committee at LAIS, and it has been a wonderful experience. We've taken on projects of releasing the newsletters, and from doing, one a year to two in the year. And last year we kind of went on to we aimed high. We were ambitious as a team. So these committees have parents, members, students, and the leadership part of the committee, and we take up projects. So the newsletters, initially we thought that we will be able to release one a month, but we know, realistically, it really became very challenging. But at no point, I ever had to feel okay that, I'm not able to kind of meet the target. It has just been so easy to be able to go and say that this looks realistically, this looks we are over ambitious and we are not being able to do that. So can we kind of tweak our goal and look at, releasing it bi-monthly? Plus the support that you get from everyone in the team, you don't feel that, it's going to be a daunting task and it's not going to be possible. Of course, it does get challenging. There will always be work, but you know that, yes, you have hands to help you, and it's a culture where you can ask for help and people will kind of respond. So there is no doubt ever that, okay, you're going to be left alone. Everybody is watching each other's backs, and as what you have seen and heard from the others who have shared so far, that we are all there for each other, and it including the students. So they also kind of support the teachers and kind of feel free to share their feedback, whatever that they want. They feel the atmosphere is a very warm, accepting environment, a nurturing environment, and all this is possible because, right from the leadership it flows down. So as teachers, you also feel that when you have this kind of experience, and if that is what you are receiving, I think it also makes it very important and responsible for us to also pass it on to the learners. I do remember, this is again on a funny note, and this kind of just came up. I remember in the pandemic times, on one particular day, we had two learners. Ishant is here, one of them, and they came to the class wearing glares. And I was so surprised. The first thing in the morning, I'm like, what is this? No, today we will be in the class wearing glares. What I'm trying to highlight, of course, we did laugh about, we spoke about why you're wearing glass and whatever, who looks good and all of that. But what I'm trying to here say is that the level of comfort and ease that the children also have, they feel safe, they feel okay to try out new things, to kind of do these pranks and make the class more lively. There is no one is kind of told that, no, you're not allowed to do. I think that kind of freedom that the students have, and as teachers that we are also given, every stakeholder here in the institution here at LAIS is given that opportunity and that freedom to be able to voice whatever they want to say, whatever they want to express, and in the most rightful way, where you're not kind of hurting anyone's feelings, but say it in a very appropriate manner. So that's it from me, and I will pass it on. Thank you.
Thanks, Preeti. So I know it's not my turn, Shubadra, but I'm still going to say something. So in fact, the whole thing with the learners, another interesting thing was recently while we were reviewing the year with the children, we had a grade 2 child who led a petition of that we don't have free play from grade 3. And then they said, first they started it with a secret mission, thinking that we shouldn't know that they're leading a petition. But of course they leaked it. And when we said it's perfectly fine, and in fact, we helped them on how they should create the petition, what they should do, who should they approach, and what are the pros and cons of all of that. And it actually became a learning experience for them. And so it was very interesting. And it was really nice for grade 2 to come ahead and say that we want free play next year. They found options in the timetable of where we can fit it in and, did all of that. I think that's what happens. And when you especially see your youngest learners do that, it really gives us goosebumps that, wow, even they can do this. Yeah.
Samitha, can you also share this one on birthday? This has been the most recent of how.
Yeah. So again, when we celebrate birthdays in school, the children are allowed to distribute either an Indian sweet or a brownie or a cupcake. And through the year, we've had different instances where, it's led to heartburn, either with the parents or the staff at school. And so we said, why do we really need the sweet? Maybe the children can just come dressed and we can all celebrate without any food, because that is what was causing the problem. So our younger classes, when we had circle time with them, all of them very sweetly said, yes, it's okay. We can do that at home. And of course, it's fine. The food is not important. We'll play games on our birthday, all of that. And in our diary rules, we had actually removed that and said, okay, so there will be no food and all of that. And then we went to grade 3 up and we told them that, and they outright rejected it. And they said, no way, we want the sweets coming. You can't just take it away. We want those and we will make sure our parents follow the rules. So yes, we brought it back and our diary now has the rule that yes, they can still bring the sweets and all. So all the younger ones were pleasantly surprised. Maybe it was easy convincing them, but yeah, the older ones didn't let us change anything. So anyway, we do have our partner parents with us also. Avneet, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I think so. That's what Malak said. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. So you could then.
Hi, I'm a parent of 2 learners at LAIS. One is in the pre-primary EYP section and one is in the primary section. So what I feel is that, every school has a PTA, it's a department compulsory thing. And, so there are going to be parents involved apparently in certain decision making. But what I have seen and, communicated with my friends who are with other schools and all, that the PTA is there, but it's such a formal structure that the parents don't really have a bond with the school in as such. They go for the formal meeting and, it happens in a certain structured way and they come back and that's it, Those 3-4 meetings a year and that's what the PTA does. But for us, I've been a part of the PTA last year. And what I've realized is that we are everywhere, It's not just that, we just have this one meeting, every semester or anything. We come in whenever required. We are there for the events. We are involved in festivals. Like since we, are an inclusive school, we try to, it always says we. I never think that the school does it. That it also comes so naturally that we always say we when we talk about school, our school does this and we do this. It never is like the school does it and, we are like just outsiders. We always feel like insiders. So, when festivals are being celebrated, we try to have all kinds of festivals celebrated, even if it's just a small assembly, kids come in every, and with India, you can imagine every second week we have one festival happening. So we have, coming in with a lot of festivals which we don't celebrate. The kids come home and come and tell us about it. So then there oftentimes parents are involved in coming in, giving a small little like a lecture about something. Or so every step of the way, what we've realized that the parents are, as part of the school. It's not just a PTA. We have multiple committees in the school. Like there is a events committee, editorial committee. All these committees also have parent partners, not just the PTA having a parent involved there. There are all committees, which all committees also have parents coming in. So there's always a perspective from each side, from each stakeholder. There's always any event or anything that's happening at school. There's always, perspectives from the parent side, from the learner side, from the management. So it keeps us involved and we are always happy to be volunteers at, field trips, especially because we also, enjoy, with the kids because they are having fun and it's like a fun day out for us also. So what we've seen is that we've all created this informal bond with the teachers and with the management. And, it's like, it's not that, we can always get back to the teachers about any small thing. And it's not just that the parent teacher association can, come into the principal or coming to the HOD to talk about something. It's any parent, they'll always have, one call away, call up the office, fix an appointment. Anybody can come and speak to the parent, the principal about any small issue, not just, about specific issues. Anything small also can always, everybody's always open to listen, which really helps us as parents because, like I'll give you an example for my daughter last year. She was going through this emotional turmoil thing and she was small and I just didn't know how to help her because she was so small that even the counselor was like, as a parent, you'll have to do it. And if your school is willing, then you'll have to, partner with them to kind of take her through the journey of, getting back to normalcy. And I don't think any other school would have let me sit outside her classroom for one whole month. And then I moved steps away from the classroom for her to, she had got this major separation anxiety. So, I felt so grateful for being part of such a school where I knew that I can take my child and I can go sit in school for as long as it requires. Not once did I feel from the school or the teachers or even the support staff that, I'm imposing in their school timings. I was sitting outside classrooms, listening to chatter from everywhere, but nobody ever made me feel that, in fact, I became like one helper also, doing classwork and doing things, because since I was just sitting there. So I really felt so grateful to the, school, that as a parent, I was completely, heard. And my child, within like whatever 2 months took to get back to normalcy. But those 2 months for me were, easier because I had support from the school. So it was so heartening to feel that, the school is always there for you, because I'm sure if it was another school, parent is not allowed to step inside only during school hours. And this kind of informal, way where I could just get into school and sit there was really, really helpful for me and my journey with my child. So that's just one example with an emotional turmoil that, helped us to, in fact, bond better with like, all the teachers, and everybody in school now knows me as Bani's mother. So, and other things also, like as they said, everything, it's so democratic for us as parents and for learners also. Like if my kid comes home and if I give him some instructions which he feels is not right, my older one, he will come and tell me, you can't force me. You can't make my decision for me. You can give me options, then I will decide. Because nobody forces us anywhere. Like even schoolwork for that matter, when they get school homework, and some days where he's, unaware of how to handle, he'll come and tell me, I'm not doing this homework. I will go back to my teacher. She will re-explain it to me, and, I'll go back and do it. You don't have to explain it to me. Or, he's so confident in himself. What I've seen with this one thing was happening with my younger one, but my older one was this quiet child, always listening to instructions and all. Suddenly, that 1 year of in-person school, I've seen his personality blossom, so communicative, so confident of what he wants. And, it's not about like being brash or like, there's of course, there's a respect of how to talk, but, the way the school has just nurtured and made sure that every voice is heard, even if it's a silly comment. Like she said, that class was my child's class only, who said we want free play, and came home and told us about. I said, you're petitioning for free play. He said, yeah, we need free play, even if it's third grade. So the kids also feel, and for us then the parents, we are so laid back and so relaxed that our kids are so free at school. Like they're looking forward. Today was just parent orientation, but my kids said, no, you're going to school without us. That's not okay. We'll come to school with you. And that's, after a 2-month break, for kids to look forward to going back to school, I think that's the best example of, a school where kids are, waiting to go back. I think there can't be a more receptive culture than that. You want to take over from here, Malak? I can keep talking.
So I think before Mr. Malak speaks, I don't know if Avneet, that Bani's class also came with a proposal to me saying that why is only the senior students allowed to go to the GSB ground? They have a ground and you allow them to go there. So we don't have a huge ground down. Of course, we have a very nice, massive ground. But yes, due to the timetable, we try to move our students to another space. And I don't think they get a chance to go down very often. They usually play in the learning loft. And the entire class called me down to their class. And they said that we have a suggestion to make. And this is junior KG I'm talking about. And we had one child telling, you're not giving us any chance to go down. So I didn't understand down means what. And I said, to go down and do what? So they said to play. So I said, you can always go down and play. So he said, no, in the sports period, you don't give us a chance. So I think, I think it's not from the grade 3. That's from grade probably junior and maybe nursery. I don't know. But I think these kids somewhere realize that it's okay to ask. It's okay to, come up with suggestions. And I think, the teachers, of course, equally, I'm sure, are also making sure that, yes, the kids get it. So somewhere it's good fun to see that the way they ask you, and it's like you said, yeah, it's absolutely the most respectful way. So they, they sort of told their teacher that, can you please call Miss Shubadra down? We have something to suggest. And the whole class, sort of gave me the idea. And when I told them that, what if you, fall down or you get hurt? Because down, we don't have safety measures. They said, we promise you that we will take care of each other. And we also promise that, we will ask, the class helper, the support staff, to make sure that she's always observing them. So I said, okay, fine. So we said, when we start this year, we will probably introduce something like that. Yes.
Yeah, there's also the library book. My little one is, why does Abir get to get a library book home? Why not us? We also like to read. That also you might need to address this year.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Yes, Mr. Malak. Yes.
Great. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay, great. Excellent. So I'll also start with an example where my daughter Pankhi, who is now going to grade 4, was, really wanting to have a pet. We have some rules in our society, in our building society, where they do not encourage having pets. So we just kind of, told her that this is the policy. And if you really want to, change the policy, you go and speak to the secretary of the building. And we thought, that would be the end of it, where we didn't expect, like a 7-year-old Pankhi going and talking to the building secretary, whom many in the society actually fear. And the next day we had a complaint from the secretary saying that your daughter came to us and with in a kind of complaint, or with a kind of question that why do you have a policy of not having pets? And the secretary was complaining in a way, but she was also saying that I was quite surprised that a child that age was, expecting to have a debate on the subject. And that is when we realized that, this has to be because of, the kind of empowerment they have at school, where they feel they are made to feel confident about questioning policy. So that's the first time, we really saw this kind of an effect of how our child, and I guess all the learners are blossoming at Little Angels. About the school, Pankhi was in another school till her grade 1. Actually, the reputation of the teachers at LAIS really preceded, themselves, because I, being also a visiting teacher, visiting faculty in the architecture department, happened to come across a student who had been taught at some stage by Ms. Shubadra. And my first, he was brilliant. This guy could, learn and execute things within 6 months, which my regular kind of trainees or interns would take almost 2 years to do. And I was amazed at his clarity, at his confidence, and at his, in a way, at his very outspoken, very bold nature. And I probed a bit, and I thought, this couldn't have been a very recent kind of trait which comes in from, college or something like that. And I asked him, which school were you in? And when I said school, I he kept mentioning about his teachers. And somehow, subconsciously, I was, secretly hoping that my child could go to such a school. And I started really, researching, and then I figured that, these teachers are at a school which has just started. And I could just see that if I would like my daughter to be anywhere even close to what this student is today, then I have to follow those teachers. I have to get my child working with those teachers, and I'm seeing the results. You could clearly see about the way the students are empowered. I'll give another example of because this is about democratic education, we all know that there's been a whole batch or two batches of young learners who have gone through the lockdown and online learning. So at the previous school, Pankhi had a very difficult time with the online learning, and she found the reading and writing aspect of language very difficult. So that in a way became a kind of hindrance for her to really enjoy and really explore all the other subjects where language understanding was required. So the school spoke to us about that difficulty, but came up with an approach where all three of us, Pankhi, us parents and the teachers, now including the head of department and principal, were all on a table trying to find ways to help us. And I can't even say help Pankhi, because it was helping all of us, because we were all trying to find ways where it works for all of us. And then some systems were worked out, they were tried, we got extra assistance from the school, outside of school hours, through some wonderful teachers. And this was a constant process throughout the 2 years, where Pankhi was being helped to kind of cover up ground on which she may have lost during the lockdown. What is important is that the way in which this was done was a way of involving all stakeholders, Pankhi as well. It was not something where the parents would decide with the teachers and then Pankhi had to follow. She was taken on board, and she was made to say if she was comfortable with this method or that, and then we worked out something, and as a result today we are finding a huge improvement. In fact, through these vacations, the summer vacations, Pankhi has been working every day on that very subject so that she covers up ground for the next year. So that is the kind of spirit which has been instilled, not just in the learner, but dare I say also in the parents, by the school's initiative. So these are just a few of my experiences. There are many more, like the parent has mentioned, but yes, I'll use these two as examples.
Thank you, Mr. Malak. And Avneet, we let the next thing, and if there's time in the end, I'll let you talk. Sorry. Yeah, so we've saved the best for the last, which is our learners. So I think let's hear it from them, what they have to say about the school. Finally, they are the ones who are shaping the school. So Adhya, are you ready to share? I can see you. Is Adhya? Yes. One second, I'll just spotlight you. Yes, Adhya. What is it that you would like to share?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adhya and I'm from 4th grade, also called as Wanderer class. I joined LAIS in the first standard, 2021. The next year, I went unschooling. Then again, last year, 2023, this year 2023, I joined in again. This was the first offline I've had in primary. What I really like about LAIS is that everyone is allowed to give their suggestions and what they want. One of my experiences was like this. You're allowed to you're allowed to give your feedback in www and ABI, which is what went well and even better way. You can share your feedback on this and give your feedback to the teachers. We also have a suggestion box in which you can put all your suggestions for anything you want. I really like that if we send in an ABI to any of the teachers, like the teachers actually solve it and do it. Once in the maths class, I felt that the level of the lessons and exercises was a little low, and my maths teacher, Miss Poonam, gave me more challenging worksheets, in which I felt even more challenged to do them. She gave me worksheets and exercises in which I felt really challenged to do them, and that's what I really liked about that class. whenever we have extra homework, once we had a little extra homework, and Miss Poonam also reduced the homework, like, because we told her that our bags were it was weighing a lot and it was too heavy to carry all the way. So she reduced the homework by reducing some of the books. I really enjoy coming to school every day and having fun in class and in playing with my friends.
Okay.
Thank you, Adhya. Jay, would you like to go next?
So, hi, I am Jay. I am also from 4th grade, which is the Wanderer class. So, I like coming to school every day. LAIS is a really nice school. So, I like LAIS because every student is able to speak for themselves. And like, there is nothing that nobody can speak, only like somebody decides the rules. Like, even in the circle time which we have every Monday, the class comes together and we discuss the class norms, and we also have different managers, and like all like each subject is like really nice. Like science, we get to, like, our teacher Ms. Inkle, she tells us to like go and research on what we've learned for the day. Sometimes that's also our homework. And science is also science is a subject which is mostly about research. We get to go and research about what we've learned. Everything we do is not just in class. We can also do stuff at home. And in sports, like, I really like sports because we get to make our own choice. We don't have to pick one sport. If the sir gives us like 2 or 3 sports, we can pick from one thing, and that sir will let us do it. And also, once in the assemblies, grade 1 and I was asked to take an assembly for chess. Miss Preeti asked me but I did not agree. First, I felt like I didn't want to do it. After a little bit, I felt like I think I should do it. I gave it a second thought, and then I did it. I conducted the assembly for chess for the grade 1 and 2, and it was a good experience. So LAIS is like a really good school. I like coming to school every day. It also, there are also, our school has different committees. There is an editorial committee in which I am. There is a event committee and there is a sports committee. So like in the committees, in like our committee, sometimes the students like get to take photos if there is like an event, or like the parents have come to school or something. And it's a good experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, Ishan.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Ishan and I'm in 6th grade, innovator. I've been here since when the school started. What I liked about the school is that you can give feedbacks to the teachers. Feedbacks to the teachers. Like, for example, during a Marathi class, usually Marathi classes were boring and we didn't like that much. So me and my friends decided to give feedbacks. So in school, our feedbacks work as WW and EBI. WW stands for what went well and EBI stands for even better. So in WW, we gave that this class was interesting and good. In even better, if we told this class could be even better, that you could have thought it teached us even in a better way, not just give us writing and leave it off. So We also told to use the screen, not the blackboard, and give us less writing. We and yeah. Then we also have a forum place called Circle Time where we discuss about resolving our issues amongst our peers, and we also give suggestions. For example, like there are I'll give you an example of the suggestion. So we have last year we had two committees, one of which are EDC, editorial committee, and event committee. So my friends thought of an idea, why can't we just have a event a sports committee? So both of my friends went to a principal and asked, can we just have a sports committee? Our principal agreed to it, and we had a sports committee. Usually, EDC is more EDC and EVC are more active than sports committee. So, my friends again asked our principal that can we have a friendly match with the GSP? Our principal said yes, but we have to practice. We have practiced for 2 months, and during the last day of the academics year, we did a match and we won the match. But sadly, we lost the match of football. I really love the school, and yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ishan. Yes, I think that is all that the LAIS family had to share.
Sorry, I think we had one more member, but unfortunately, I think she is probably low on Wi-Fi. And she was one of our support staff, was very eager to come and be a part of this session. And maybe I can share what she had told me when I asked her, what do you like best about the school? And she said, sab acha hai. I said, you know that I don't like the sab acha hai, nice, good. We have to use beyond that, right? Those adjectives don't work here. And when I asked her that, what is it that, keeps you going? And she's been there again, right from the first year with us. And I remember, and she does speak, fluent English. And during her appraisals, when we spoke to her and we said, what is that you would like to, sort of do something beyond what you're already doing as as taking up some new responsibilities. And she just told me that, what, if you really want to do something for me, get me some training to use a computer, because I think I'll be very happy to use a computer. And oh, there she is. Is she there? I thought I saw Mary somewhere. Yes, Mary. Yeah. Mary, can you please speak? Yes. Okay, we have Mary, so I think it's best Mary speaks. Miss Poonam, can you just unmute yourself? Yes, Mary.
Mary, you are still on mute. Mary, you need to unmute. Yes, now it's fine.
Good evening, everyone. I am in the LSS support staff. Really happy to I improve myself. My teachers are really very good. My teachers, my HOD, and my Karishma ma'am, all are supporting me. And really, I say something to, especially for my heart. Anything I say, ma'am, I want to do this. I want to do this. This is okay, do. This is the way to say. कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे कि ऐसा बच्चों लोग के साथ भी कुछ गलती भी हो गया, मैंने ऐसा किया है, तो हाँ तू नेक्स्ट टाइम बराबर कर लेना, डू नेक्स्ट टाइम टू ट्री, उस तरह उसकी वजह से बच्चों लोग भी मेरे को फीडबैक देते हैं कि मैं बराबर बहुत लाउडली बात करूं, और जो भी मैं कुछ डिस्प्ले वर्क या कंप्यूटर वर्क स्कूल में आने के बाद मैंने ये लिटिल एंजल आने के बाद मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है. I learn more things from the computer, for display work, yeah, in the class work, yeah, office work, कुछ भी हो, anything to teachers and my Karishma ma'am and my principal, my children's, mostly my children are supporting for me for speak to English. Really thanks my thinker class. Mostly my thinker class, Mary, this is the wrong. Miss Mary, this is sentence, this is the wrong. She's saying always, thank you for LAIS. I'll handle to Vitamin.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. And I must say that Mary wanted to just learn how to operate the computer and, do some data entry. But today she is actually, she knows how to actually browse on the internet. She knows how to print the worksheets. So she's the one who prints all our worksheets. She has her own user ID. She's learned printing, scanning. I think she's probably become like, she's getting better day by day and wants to learn much more. In fact, I think now she works on the drive also. So it's amazing to see the, that the zest in her that she wants to go on and learn much more. And I think she's also learned Excel. So hopefully, I think another year we'll see her probably, looking at other opportunities where she will probably want to start doing some data entry also is what she says. So kudos to her. I think we enjoy watching her. Seeing her, the way she comes forward and says, I want to try something. I think it's a great example for all of us. So thank you, Mary, for connecting and coming in. Yes. Yeah. I think we also have a few of our trustees here. Since we have a little time, I presume. Yeah, I think if I can just, Mr. Anil Shenoy and Mr. Vikram Kamath, they are here. And I'm really glad to have them here. And if any one of you would like to, Mr. Anil Shenoy is here.
Yeah.
If any of you want
hello.
to quick word, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anil Shenoy, Honorary Secretary of the Angels Education Trust. For many of you may know me, I'm an ex-student of the school as well. And that speaks for the democracy of the trust, which has promoted Little Angels International. We are a 60-plus-year-old trust, and definitely, we have a share of the super senior citizens who are a part of our trust. But still, the trust has been democratic enough to allow us, the three youngest members of the trust, to lead the day-to-day operations of the trust. Now, Little Angels International School, we were involved from the day one, or maybe before that. We did have faith in the leadership team of the school. We did entrust all the responsibilities of running the day-to-day academics and the operations of the school. However, we always believe in democracy with responsibility. It is important that we be responsible, each one of us, and as the member of trust, we have to ensure that the values set by the trust in the whole institution, and also the bottom line of the finances are maintained well, so that we have a long innings with the school. It is very nice to see Shubadra and her team get the school together, take it forward. And as a member of the trust, we are very happy to support her in this initiative. All the members of the Little Angels International School, and we appreciate what every stakeholder does for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anil. Yeah, I think as Kavita has already put, if there's any questions, of course, like we told you, we are still in 5 points. We have to still reach 10. And I think we're always happy if there's any feedback given to us. So we'll also end our session with a WW and an EBI from you all. So any of you would like to tell us what has gone well in the session, and even better if you could have done anything, or if any questions there in your mind, please feel free to ask us.
Yogesh or
yeah, sure.
Anybody would like to ask questions?
Thank you for all the good words coming in. But if there's any query, any thoughts in your mind, please feel free to ask us, because we've also gone step by step to reach here. Yes.
Yeah, so I think you've got really amazing students and parents and teachers, Shubadra. Apart from the fact that your management is really fantastically supportive, I think that's great. I would like to ask one question, which is that most of the parents that we see whose children start becoming vocal in school then don't like it when they become vocal at home. So very often it is like, well, why are they questioning us? We are the parents. So how do you work with that? Has that happened so far? Is there anything that has come up with you?
Yeah, so I think we've had parents coming and saying, like she said, choices, give us choices. And at home, they come and tell us, and sometimes they are quite rude. And I think it's best to tell them with examples. And I always share examples where if I'm upset about something because a child is not doing something, it's not right to go and tell the child, that I'm angry because you've done this. But if you say that, what, I just felt very disrespected, because I think I respect you when I try to tell you something. Why not you show me the same respect? Because we mutually have to respect each other. So we try convincing them, say that if they ask you a question, there's nothing wrong in that. But yes, the way they ask you something, we all as adults need to sort of help them. And choices are something they have to learn how to make, and let them try it out. And if they make the mistake, you just be there around to support them. Yeah. So I think, fortunately for us, I think most parents like Avneet and Mr. Malak has told that, I think they've also embraced this entire philosophy, looks like that. So I don't think they get shocked. Initially, yes, it's quite shocking for some of them, but eventually I think they also sometimes appreciate the fact that the child is able to speak out of what's in the mind rather than keep it to themselves. Yes. Y'all can add, y'all are the best people to tell, yes.
Okay. So the other question was around the idea of feedback to teachers. So I'd love to hear from many of the teachers that what is the sense of security that a teacher needs to be able to ask a child to give that kind of feedback, right? To say, what is it that worked for you in my class? What is it that did not? And to see it as really essential for a teacher to have that information. So what kind of mindset does it require a teacher to have? And congratulations to the school for succeeding in that. Honestly, I think that's quite remarkable. So I'd love to hear from either Suchita or any of you.
I think we have become very comfortable, and even if we forget to ask, sometimes it happens. So the class has ended and the time is up, and you rush out of the class, and the students will remind, no, you didn't do the WW in EBI. So sometimes you have to say, okay, sorry, we forgot. So quickly come on, share your WW and EBI. I think, yeah, we are very open to it, and we accept it. There has been instances where it has been the EBI of the class. It came up in such a way. It has been an eye opener for me, and I'm sure for many other teachers. They would give you such apt suggestions that you could have done this. So just, I know time is short. Just one thing. I was doing a demonstrational text in English, which was, just a text and how to write it. What are the instructions and how will you do it? So the class said, why don't we do this experiment? I said, yeah, makes sense. You can do this experiment, and maybe one day we can do an experiment to gather all the stuff and do. So it's really worthy hearing their WW and EBI. WW, of course, enhances, that, okay, whatever you have worked for has really worked well, and you have achieved something, you have gone somewhere. And EBI, of course, as I said, has been eye-opener in many occasions.
So just very quickly, so we also have I mean, when we have a new teacher coming in and we have a demo class, I think even there we use this concept of the students giving us feedback. Not only us, but also the teacher who's doing it. So we do tell the teacher that our students are going to give you feedback, and please, I know it's might be something for a new teacher coming in. It might just be, imagine all these kids are trying to tell me what's good and what's not going right. But I think the way they've learned how to tell the feedback, I think it just, most teachers have come for our demo lessons, have just said, wow, I mean, this is amazing. So I know just recently we had, in fact, she's one of our Hindi teachers today, and she had come for a mock, and she did a story, very nice, beautiful story. Then she started something in Hindi, and at the end, we said that, would you like to give the teacher a WWEBI? And they said, oh, it was very good. The story was very good, and the lesson was extremely good. And of course, they went on good. And then later when the EBI came, they said, you know what? The story and the lesson did not match. Ideally, it should match. And it's okay if it didn't match. We know you're new, but basically, if you could have maybe, converted into a quiz and, you tried something where it would have been a little more interactive with us. So we realized, and the tone they used, I think, I'm sure Adhya and Jay may remember, it was their class. And it was amazing to see the right tone, the right way, approach of talking to a stranger. I think they've learned it. And today we have, I think we're short of time, but I wanted to share the forums we have. So we have student advancement team who take the students. So they are students who take all the visitors around the school. And nobody scripted anything with them. We just ask them, okay, if I have to walk around the school, what would you talk about? And we should see they're bang on. I don't think we have to teach them anything. So I think if we come with this mindset that we are not here to teach, I think we're just here to listen and just say, okay, this is fine. Do you want to do something else? And guide them, to lead them to challenges. I think we have probably won half the battle, I think. Yes. So that's what we would say. And I would say, I'm very happy everybody is here, the stakeholders. Amazing to see that all of us are so excited to come here today. So thank you, my team. And my family, I would say. Yes, Poki. I have to hear it from him. Yes.
What's been most striking for me today has been that every single contributor has believed that their voice is valued, that their feelings, their concerns, their ideas about the future. From the and I can see on my screen, from the youngest member of the trustees to the youngest student who's here today, there is a continuing theme at the school that this is a school where voice is valued, and therefore learning will be internalized and developed. So congratulations to the team and to the school for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Kavita, for this opportunity, I would say. Yes.
I just want to say a very big thank you, Shubadra. And it's just amazing to see the kind of responses that you've got also from everybody who's here, to say that this is really amazingly practical, right? What you've said is something that every school really can do, and will probably be able to after hearing all of you. The inspiration has been amazing. Mr. Shenoy, you have a remarkable school. And I'm so pleased to hear that you have that same sense of faith in the leadership, which is very difficult to achieve. And it's a very, very fantastic collaboration that you have there.
Thank you.
So with that, we come to the end of our 50th session. And we're really very, very glad that this was the session. This was so appropriate. It's amazing. This is what we all believe, that every child has to be an independent learner, but also a collaborative learner. And maybe, Shubhadra, you need to start the same school for all our parliamentarians who perhaps need to learn to ask questions in a polite, correct way. So this is something that we know all your students are going to be able to do as they grow. Do use the feedback form that we've shared. Please, everybody who has been part of the session, it would be great to get that for the school from everybody. But from Adhyayan, we want to say a very big thank you, and to just let everybody know that we'll be running a whole series of teacher professional development online. if anybody would like to join in, please do, whoever is listening and whoever is available to on the YouTube as well. Thank you all of you, and thank you most of all to the students and teachers and everyone who's been here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita.